It is 11:52 this Monday, the 25th of April. My name's Greta Ballog. You've been on Mornings, and I'm in the studio with a couple of dudes, missing one, but I guess we'll find out what's happened. Tom, Montydoodoo, and the Crocodile crew are here with me. Just two of them. Jordan's not here. What's up?
Hey, Greta and producer girl. Thanks for having us on.
It's currently dawn, 4 a.m, and we're about to pre-record our upcoming show. You might be wondering why we're doing this.
Well, the answer, it's one word, an acronym to be precise, Australia and New Zealand Army Corps, or ANZAC for short.
Today we're preparing ourselves for heavy drinking and two-up in memory of our boys.
I have to say, I'm very tired, but I'm happy because I now have a vague idea of what our boys, the ANZACs, may have experienced.
We have lots on our show today about ghost stories, what people do for fun, and other things stolen from Reddit, our favourite website.
Back to you in the studio. How was your weekend, Greta?
This is really strange. My weekend, it was pretty good. I just hung out with friends for most of it.
Should we...
We thought we'd be... It was really, I don't know what we were thinking.
It was a bit of a goof. We're doing it.
Just being jokesters.
Can you hear me? I can't really hear myself.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. You're fine.
It was just a bit of a goof we were doing, as if we got up at 4 a.m. and then recorded it and then brought it in.
That's funny.
But it's actually, see, look, she's getting it. You know.
Yeah.
So
I get it. I got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a joke we did. We thought we'd bring it on FBR Radio 94.5 FM on this Anzac Day.
We're pranksters.
Just a couple of jokers. Jordan's at the beach, unfortunately, but you're with your boys.
He actually is as well.
Is it cold?
Yeah, he booked out a holiday house and he goes, I plumb forgot. Sorry.
Plum.
That's
weird.
the text I got.
Weird.
It's every Monday. Every Monday. It doesn't
change.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but so that's what we do when Jordan isn't around. We sort of bring these sorts of jokes in.
Very conceptual.
Exactly.
Quite meta.
Like scripting and that kind of thing.
Scripts and songs, actually. So I've got my guitar here, and I was thinking for the... I feel like this is an appropriate song for today, unless you don't.
Did you write this, Robbie?
I did not write this one, but I think you might know it.
Is it Tame Impala?
Not quite. But just a real quick snippet, maybe.
Okay.
Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Sweet.
It's another goof, Greta.
Another goof. So look, we weren't really sure about that one. In that we asked you, Greta, before. What did you? Was that too offensive? We're not sure if that's offensive.
Is it making fun of something?
I think it is having fun. I don't think it's making fun.
Okay, because we like the song. We like the sentiment of. I don't know. You bail me out.
Oh, yeah. I just got it. Actually, it's kind of offensive.
So we're kind of doing Imagine, and then we're going to be like, thank you to the Anzacs. But then it's like, is that offensive because it sounds like we're making fun of it?
Yeah. I think there's a very thin line when it comes to public holidays that focus around
death and
war.
Especially when it's being broadcast, to whoever many people are listening. And
a lot of people.
Yeah, and there's no way of editing this or cutting it out. So that was an interesting thing for us to do there, I think. And but how's your show?
Yeah, my show, look, it was fun. It wasn't as controversial as yours is seeming to go today.
Yeah, it started on a rocky road.
That's okay, but you know what? Rocky Road is also delicious.
Yeah, I think we've actually got quite a strong show today. We're asking people, have you been kicked out of home or have you run away from home? And would like to hear story. Nothing too depressing though. and we're also
in a fun way.
But no, it's all in jest, all in fun. And then we'd also like to know what do you do for fun? And if you want
there are two big topics today. So if you have you been kicked out of home? Have you had fun in the past?
Now, the numbers, please, nothing depressing, I swear to God. All right, 0409 945 945 is the text number. And if you want to call, Tom, what's the number?
The number is 833-22-999.
We've also got today our friend Dunks in the studio, and he's been a bit of a mystery on the show.
Yep.
Is he here right now?
Yeah, he's here right now.
Oh,
in the studio with us, Greta. Play along.
Okay.
No, he actually is just waiting outside.
Oh, is that the guy outside?
Yeah.
Right.
So people can look forward to a lot of fun, respectful banter today,
Amazing. It
Yeah.
sounds like you guys are going to have a fun time.
and good music. Sorry, as
and good
well. I
music.
have to say yes as well.
Tame Impala coming up.
No Tame Impala. We're not going to be that risque today, but rest assured that I would love to. But
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay, thank you for letting me know what is coming up in great detail today on Tom Montydoodoo and the Crocodile crew.
It's okay.
Stop talking.
Hello and welcome to Tom Montydoodoo and the Crocodile crew.
On FBI Radio 94.5 FM. Thanks so much to Greta Bellog for the last show and for having us at the end there. You've got it tuned to Tom Montydoodoo and the Crocodile crew with Robbie.
Tom.
Sorry,
Tom.
Try that one.
Tom.
Yep, Tom. And we've also got a little special guest in the studio. Do you want to introduce yourself, sir?
Your boy Dunks.
Your boy Dunks. He's here in the studio. But Jordan isn't because he's at the beach, so sorry about that.
So Dunks is bitterly disappointed that he's missed out on meeting Jordan.
I feel good, man. I'm liking this so far.
Yeah, well,
good
I reckon
dynamic.
this. Yeah,
We
this
don't
is
need him.
Yeah, we've got a better vibe. I think. I think the
Exactly.
vibe is good. But
Yeah.
it's like we're just children that are being forced into having to like keep going, even though like our parent isn't here. It's just like a very strange feeling. But okay. Well, we're going to talk about a lot of things today. But first up, over the weekend, what did we do, Robbie?
What?
Auntie Donna is what we did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we went to see Auntie Donna at the Giant Dwarf Theatre. Well, I did.
Okay, all right. So it starts off
So
where...
they're YouTube. So they're like YouTube comedians and just the people that don't know.
Yeah, so they're YouTube comedians that do like sketch comedy, and they also do like a live theatre thing where they do like a comedy show. And we're like, oh, we should go see Auntie Donna. And I was like, oh, Robbie, awesome. Like, I have to go to Mudgee over the weekend. Can you please buy some tickets for the show? Like, when you get a chance. This is a few days ago. And he's like, yeah, I will. And then he doesn't do it until the morning of. He goes to check, and it's all sold out. So I'm like, oh,
Smart boy.
yeah. So it's all sold out. Very annoying. And then he messages Auntie Donna personally.
yeah, look.
Wait, let me finish.
No, I need to clarify.
He
something.
messages Auntie Donna personally, and then says, drops the Geordies card,
Of course.
and says like, hey, like
No,
I'm
look.
involved with this.
No, I'm going to stop you here. I'm going to stop you here. So this is
crap.
no. Let me clarify this. Okay, so I had messaged them just randomly a couple of days previous, being like, hey there, just wanted to say like I love what you do. Basically, I'm a fan of what you guys do.
Did you drop the Geordies card?
I just said my name's. I just said I'm Robbie from the Geordies. Yeah.
Yes, I did. And then they're like, he's like, we really want to go to the show. It says it's sold out, and they're like, oh well, we can give you one artist comp ticket. And he goes like, yeah, I'd love it. I'll take it. And then he messages me and the other two people that were planning on coming and says, come along and I'll try to get you in as well.
Yeah.
And I'm under the impression that like there's one spare ticket and we're going, which I reckon you should have given the extra ticket to Alicia, who's like much more of a fan than
Yeah, I
you
know.
are.
I was thinking that, and then
Because the girl we're with is like the biggest Auntie Donna fan, like the original fan, and she like loves them.
she's got it as a ringtone, for instance.
I'll duke it out with her. I'm possibly a bigger fan.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Where was my call, man? You should be like, hey, Dunks, come along.
Yeah, well, yeah. So yeah, we show up at the door to go in, and basically they're just like, yeah, so you've got one ticket, like that was agreed on, and then
it's all
Robbie
that.
just went in and met them.
Yeah, so I go in, I watch the show, I enjoyed the show. Okay. Go afterwards,
Tell us more.
well, like in the message, they're like, oh yeah, come for a beer or whatever afterwards. I'm like, oh cool, that'd be great to meet them. I'd love to meet them. And so we go afterwards. Tom and the other people come in, and we just say hello.
I've been waiting in a park for the last hour, by the way, just outside.
Yeah, all right.
I want to know how big of a name drop did you drop?
No, there was no name
yeah.
drop.
I mean, it's a big like internet cred thing to be able to drop, so you might as well.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's interesting, like that. It's
Look, the thing is here, like, because I was wondering, like, the initial correspondence was they were like, "Oh, great, let's have a beer," and then the second message I sent was, I basically forgot to get a ticket, and could I please come? Anyway, it's basically what I did, and I got a very sort of like I got a serious response as opposed to the other one that I got, and I sort of feel like maybe they think I'm a cheap bastard. And look, it's fair enough if they think that, but my intentions were in fact good in my initial message. I was just as you did, Tom. You've also messaged them and said, you know, I'm a fan of what you guys do, right?
Yeah. But like, I think afterwards they responded a bit weirdly because they go like, "Oh, so did you enjoy the show?" And I had to say, "Oh, I didn't actually see the show. I've just snuck in here to meet you."
To say hi.
And these two girls here have also snuck in. They didn't pay for the show.
Yeah.
And Robbie saw the show, but he saw it for free because you've just like hooked him up with this thing. And they're just like, "Right, okay, well, do you want a photo?" And we're like, "Oh, like not really."
I don't know. I was thinking back on that. Like maybe we should have just got a photo. Why not?
Should have tipped them at least. That would have been nice.
Yeah, we didn't buy any merch. Like, it was just, maybe that was it. And then
you call yourself a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're being, like, maybe it was a totally douchey thing to do, and they rightfully think that I'm a douche, but I don't know.
Robbie's been torn up about it all night.
I have. I've been very, because I feel like,
I know for a fact, Robbie, that you're not tight because you bought me this delicious coffee earlier.
Thanks so much.
Incredibly nice thing to do. I didn't even ask. I didn't even want it, but like
he just finished a coffee as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, if anybody's listening that's associated with them, just know that...
just text in.
No, just text in, call in.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
0409 945 945.
I'm not a douche, I'm a dick, as we talked about on the podcast. But
anyway, let's go on to our first segment, which is bullshit reasons you were kicked out of the house. So, have you ever been kicked out of a house before? Dunks?
Out of a house or my house?
A house. So, like, the example, the reason this segment has been thought of is because I remember once being at a sleepover and we're all playing Super Smash Bros on the Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were playing, and the guy whose house it was it got down to two people, and it was just him and this other guy called Ben Bidencope. And
if you're listening,
and and the guy who owned the house laid down this ultimatum of saying, like, if you don't let me win, I'm kicking you out of my house. Wow. And Ben was like, just so torn because it's like you can't lose that kind of thing.
Bitter individual.
I know. And then he beat the guy, and then he was like, "I'm sorry, Ben. Like you gotta go." Yeah, and he kicked him out, and we were like, "Ben, you knew the rules."
Man, that is such a PG story compared to like what it could have been. If you're gonna get kicked out of a house, you must have done something really bad.
Yeah, but it was just so funny watching him just like with his hand up against the glass, just like saying like, "Can I come in now?" And just being like, "No, Ben. Like we told you the rules." But yeah, there's been a few of those kind of things. I've been kicked out once or twice. Like,
have you? You've been kicked out? You didn't leave?
Were you drunk and loud, or
no? Just always like sleepovers when I was young, where someone would just be like, you know, you better do this, or I'm kicking you out. Yeah. Like really weird. Like maybe just my friends were really strange in that way.
Bad friends, man.
Yeah.
I was around at a friend's place one time watching a movie, and I stepped on his hat, and then he told me to leave. Yeah. What, like, is that a bit weird? Is that a bit weird to be asked to leave?
That's right.
Usually, I mean, you do it really subtly, kind of just walk them out, sort of thing, rather than be like, you're no longer welcome here.
What was the hat?
Oh, it was like a boater from school, from the private school we went to.
I don't think hats are for you, Robbie. Anyway, sorry. I don't think hats are for you.
Yeah, maybe not.
You're permanently wearing a hat. Look at you.
Okay,
and I kicked you out of the house the other day when you were trying to vape up in my room.
Well,
is this vaping thing true?
Another.
Do you rip fat vapes?
Another vape story. I mean, it's just So I was in there doing my thing, ripping fat vapes.
What of it?
And I do it in Tom's face, and he goes, "You bloody bastard. You step out of here right now." I go, "Oh, it's not got any nicotine in it. You can do it inside. It's fine to do it inside. It's just water." And he goes, "I don't care. You get out right
Get out of my house.
Happy Anzac Day." And I go, and then he kicks me out, and I think that's bullshit. So why did you kick me out?
Yeah, well, just vaping in my room.
Is this
I don't
fair
like fat vapes.
Yeah, this is fair enough. Exactly.
Entirely fair.
Yeah.
Have you ever run away from home?
Yes, I have. When I was living in England as a child, I was particularly angry. I had ripped some tiles off the kitchen wall for no reason, and then I just sort of like. I just walked out. I was like, I'm out of here.
Did you get in trouble?
I think I was 9. I ripped it off. They were furious. And somebody said, "Oi lads, where's Jordan?" Jordan's at the beach. So if you don't, just tune off if you're into.
Or just turn it down. I think
Or turn it down, change station, whatever. And I was walking down the street, and I realised halfway down the street how terrified I was of the prospect of like not having a home anymore inside.
Did you ever do that thing where you get a garbage bag and you fill it full of teddy bears and soft toys and run away because they're like your vital things?
Well, that's what I did. I took my Game Boy and a couple of Pokemon toys and just walked down the street.
Priorities.
Yeah.
It's such crazy like thinking, isn't it? Like that process of like crying and just like cramming a bag full of soft toys because you need something to comfort you when you're like out in the cold.
Man, I must have had such a soft life. Like
You
I never
ran
had any
away?
reason. It's like, I love it here. This is the best. I'm never leaving.
Yeah, I can't remember why the reason for running away, but
When you did.
yeah, I've run away a few times. Like it's just walking down to the front of the road and then just turning around and going back.
Yeah.
It's all for the effect, isn't it? It's all to just...
How old were you when you did this, though?
Like 8.
12 or something? Oh, wow.
9.
Okay.
Like
It's a big
primary
wide
school.
world out there, man. I wouldn't...
I know.
Did you ever sneak out?
No, I had pretty lenient rules, so I never had to sneak out.
Yeah. Just go,
Did you
"I'm
sneak
going."
out?
Oh, I might have once or twice. Yeah. What?
Like for a party or something?
Yeah, hopefully your parents
Say
aren't
no more.
listening, my
They-
friend.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure
Say
they
no more,
are.
say no more.
Hi, Mum and Dad.
Hey, look, should we have a little bit of music, guys? and we'll come back. Guys, keep texting in. Have you ever run away from home, been kicked out of home? Have you vaped in your mate's face? Stuff like that. Number 0409 945 945 with your boys Tom, Montydoodoo and the Crocodile Crew on FBI 94.5 FM. This is a song called Rollin' Like a Dummy. It's an older one by Mac DeMarco that he recently released. I think it was like a demo from the 2 album sessions. But here we go. It's a bit of fun. Hope you enjoy. The sultry sounds there of Mac DeMarco with his song Rollin' Like a Dummy on FBI Radio 94.5 FM. You're the boys Tom, Montydoodoo and the Crocodile Crew. How are we, boys?
Good,
Feeling
thanks.
good.
So we...
With Dunks.
Oh, Dunks
yeah.
is here as well, who's a long-time listener who has been featured in the
Incredi
last few
fan.
episodes. Yeah. So we have been talking about this for almost a year now, is Robbie's success with women being lacking.
God, it's such a bad way of putting it.
What, for a year now?
No, yeah, a year,
Yeah.
success. It's
One of these
an odd
words.
way of framing it, Tom.
Yeah, true, I guess so. So we need some advice for Robbie, which we've tried to do so many times. But I think what we've kind of knuckled it down to one specific problem, which is that Robbie just can't think of what to do with a girl once he has got their attention, as in where to take them on a date, for instance.
Well, so I have some idea, but I don't want to do, like, I think, I don't know, like, what do
You
you
don't want to
do?
be cliche about it.
Yeah, you can
Is
do
that it?
dinners and stuff, right? But, like, I mean,
that doesn't reflect like your radiant personality. I think and you need to do something a little bit more zesty.
well, I'm big into laser tag. I think laser tag is good, but nobody really wants to do that these days.
Why? What? I
I don't know what's wrong with
laser
them.
tag.
Yeah, everyone does have a problem with laser tag. I think that's fairly a fine thing to think about, though, is like, what do people actually do? So
Yes.
if you know what you do, text into 0409 945 945. Let us know, where would you take a girl on a date or a guy on a date?
Or just like,
And-
what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun?
Yeah, just full stop.
What do people do for
In the
fun?
context
Because I
of
don't think
dates.
we really...
Yeah, like last week we went for an urban hike and got some retail therapy and went shopping and stuff, which was kind of fun, I guess. But it was kind of, just wandering around the city.
It was interesting, though, because we don't
You haven't
really...
even convinced yourself. I guess it was fun.
Yeah. Well, Dunks was saying just before in the break that he goes camping for fun
Love a good camp.
and takes photos of space.
Yeah, man. Get in contact with nature.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is like a legitimately fun hobby, so I think that's a fine one to say.
I think it is a good one, but it's not like a...
Date worthy.
Not first
It doesn't
date.
impress the ladies that much, to be
No.
honest.
It'd be a bit scary probably to get that.
See
Probably a
the-
little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that is
tag.
weird, actually. First date
Laser tag on the
camping.
way to camping.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. I always reckon kind of like one-off events, like if there's like the Sydney Film Festival or like the Comedy Festival at the moment, like take them to things like that,
Right.
like the art
Then
gallery.
it shows that you're current, like, and with it.
Yeah.
You know what's going
Yeah,
on.
okay. Yeah, right.
That's
Like, I don't
wide
think
world.
it's particularly fun, but I think it's a good date idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
but-
preferred first date is just go to the pub.
Yeah.
Love it. Just sink a few. That's fantastic.
Really? Yeah.
Maybe a bit of 2-Up.
Yeah, 2-Up today. There you go.
Wow.
Perfect. So it's current. You say, what are you doing on Anzac Day? After the service, let's go play some 2-Up.
Yeah. And then they'll know how weird and wonderful you are, Robbie.
Yeah, something like that.
So if you're a girl out there that would go on a date with someone like Robbie, what would you want him to do? And what would impress you? Because haven't you been on dates lately where they're just like, this is weird, or like, this is, you know, like why is there seeming to be always these barriers of what you're doing is a strange thing to be doing?
Are you asking me where do I fail?
Yeah. Well, no, like they seem to know you're failing. Like they'll tell you. Like they'll say, like, this is strange that you're asking me this.
When's the last one that you went on?
Oh,
Tell us what happened. Go on.
I just went out to dinner.
Okay.
And it was fine. It was like, there's nothing really too much to report about it. I did get told to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah,
which I think
a
is
good thing to do. Yeah.
I mean, it's
but things like that, I reckon most people don't get like feedback like during a date.
Really?
It seems like an interview, then that's a bit weird.
I don't mean the questions bit. I mean, most people don't get told, like, oh, you ask a lot of questions for a first date.
Really?
Or, you know, laser tag is fun, but this is kind of weird. Like, that kind of feedback.
Right. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Go on a double date, Robbie. Let's do it.
Yeah. Double date.
Hells yeah.
Oh my God. Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Do you have any single girls that would be keen to see Robbie, do you think?
Yes.
Can we call one today? We'll talk about it in the song.
We'll talk about it in the song. But so all right, Dunks. What did you do for your first dates with your girlfriend?
I think because we used to work together at the Apple store in Bondi. Guys, if you're listening in Bondi Apple Store, reppin'.
So get a job at Apple.
And this is a clue for a later segment where we're going to try and work out what Dunks does for a living.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting. I think we just went and it was very cash. You don't want to like become overbearing. I think first date you just want to like, ease into it. Yeah,
true. Right.
I mean,
so what did you do? You went after the Apple Store and
I think we
drinks?
just walked around, got drinks or something like that. Yeah,
right in Bondi.
I mean, it's absolutely out there. I know, but yeah, it was nice.
Okay.
Drinks seems to be pretty easy. Any texts?
Before you take her out, grab a shoebox and print off 500 copies of the lyrics to December.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who is that?
That would raise
December,
stepping up there.
By Collective Soul. Take her out, and when the time is right, bam, a box full of lyrics. Then she'll be on you like an old person on roast potatoes.
Right.
Not sure who's that from.
Absolutely applaud that text game. That is fantastic.
It's sort of in line
from the expert himself, Dunks.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Might do that after some laser tag.
That person needs to start signing off their texts, though. You know, to truly succeed in this business.
Yeah, you need to give a name and a place so we can try and broaden the FBI listenership. Where was that date you went on in like year 7 or something, Robbie, to the movies and you got left behind? What was that?
Oh, that. Okay,
talk about that. You've been put off movies because of this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I basically like that. Went on like a group thing to the movies, basically, and she just didn't show up, and that was it. So it was pretty.
Wow, you got stung.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I went on a date in year 7. I like set it up with the girl on MSN, and then I got like too kind of nervous about it, so I wanted like a friend to come with me, and then she's like, oh, I'll bring a friend as well, and we're like, oh yeah, it's just like a group thing or whatever, and then we show up for the date and we just kind of said like, hey, and then just like, because we were in groups, we didn't talk to each other, and then
boys and your girls,
exactly, and then they were like just went in to buy tickets, and then when we got to the front of the line to buy tickets, we asked like, could we get 2 students to I Heart Huckleberry, and they were like, oh, like you don't want to go to it, and we're like, no, we do want the tickets. Like, this is the ticket the salesman. They're like, no, you don't want it, and we're like, yeah, we want to buy the tickets, and they're like, oh, are you with those girls over there? And we're like, yeah, we are with the girls over there. We want the tickets, and they're like, oh, I don't think you'll want it. And we're like, okay. And then we went over to the girls and we're like, yeah, they're not going to sell us the tickets. And they're like, oh, that's weird. All right, we're going to go. Bye. And then it became really clear that the girl had obviously gone up to the ticket person and said, like, where with those guys? Can you not sell them the tickets?
So scheming.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
It was just like heartbreaking. But like, we didn't it like just didn't connect for like a year at
when
least.
you're like in the shower and you're like, damn it.
Yeah, it was that. I'm like, of course. Like, no movie salesperson doesn't sell someone a ticket. No one asks them, like, oh, it'll just be too old.
I don't. You won't like it.
Yeah.
Give me your $10.50. Get some popcorn. You're gonna love it.
It's none of your business. Yeah.
The first date that I ever went on, I was like 14, and I literally did that Ralph Wiggum spilling the ice cream. See, I spilled a Coke on her, and I was like, I can't believe this happened. This is too amazing.
Oh, I wish I had somebody to spill stuff on.
Yeah.
And,
one day, Robbie,
no,
you'll find your true flame.
No, I mean, for back in that movie story. Have you been? Is a movie date a popular thing for you, Dunks? Or
not really, no. And I'll tell you why. It's because Dendy bloody Newtown, honestly. Yeah. I mean, great establishment, but man, it's expensive. Seriously?
Is it?
Well, every cinema.
This is such old people.
What's it cost you?
Go to see a film. Yeah, I think ease it in with a movie.
Okay.
And they get used to your sort of general presence. I think once you pass that barrier, you're in, man.
You should go to musical gigs or invite them to the gigs that you're playing at. You're in a band. You should be getting heaps of ladies.
Yeah, I do sometimes, but like, you know, I don't know. That's fair enough. Yeah.
Just live music, man.
Let's just leave this. Let's leave this. Like, we'll play a song.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it. This is a song, Wristband.
Stop eating, please.
Eating into the mic. I've heard all about this.
Wristband. It's by Paul Simon. It's a new one. I don't know if this is okay to play on FBI because it's Paul Simon. I think he's like obscure. Maybe he's obscure enough now.
Yeah.
Okay. Wristband. Here we go. See you soon. Hey there, everybody. You've got it tuned to FBI Radio 94.5 FM. That was the song Wristband by Paul Simon from his new album coming out called Stranger to Stranger. How are you guys?
How are you, Robbie, after just hearing poor feedback about that voice you just did then?
Well, I think I tried to change it up then, but love the show, but Robbie, that voice you used to introduce the show after songs makes me sick. So I tried to give you a little bit of variation there. Does that one still make you sick?
Yeah, let us know. 0409 94595. All right, so we're going to do Dunks, Man or Mystery. So Dunks is well known at the FBI station. He lives with a few people that work here and have shows, and we've been getting texts from Dunks for weeks now, and whenever we mention Dunks to them, they'll be like, oh, do you know what he does for work? And we'll be like, no, we don't know what he does for work. What does he do? And they'll say, oh, you have to find out for yourself. And now Dunks is saying, it's boring. It's not like, I don't know why they're
this
saying
has been built up so much. Dunks.
I know,
honestly,
I have no idea why.
We've spoken to all the people you live with. You know, you've kept yourself quite a secret from us. You've tried very hard to do that.
It's a bit more fun that way, isn't
it? Yeah. So
our boy Dunks is going to do that thing that you do when you go and play pub trivia, where he's going to feed us little bits of information, and the first one to guess what he does out of me and Robbie will win the game.
I don't even know if you guys will know that this job exists.
Right, well, let's try that.
That's how mysterious it is. Whoa.
Okay.
All right, so give us a clue.
Right, so how do we do this? Okay, so yeah, so let's just say at uni I did a major in psychology.
Okay.
That's good, actually.
So we have a guess now. Are you a school therapist?
No. I did a minor in marketing. Oh, you see that intersection of two worlds.
Are you a counsellor?
No.
Do you measure metrics and base like a consumer like purchasing based on like psychology or something?
That is so close.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know how you got that. What the hell?
All right. I think I've got it though. But it's like door to door.
No. Absolutely not.
All right,
I mean, that would be fantastic. I would love to be able to get out of the office and have a walk around.
Actually, you did say that, so that's actually where I went wrong there.
Yeah.
Because you did say that you were holed up in an office.
Yes, exactly. So what else? So that whole consumer thing, that whole metrics thing, very, very good. I think you just need to take a little bit further.
Right. So do you, like a company will say, Dunks, like we sell Cocoa Pops and we need you to tell us who will buy Cocoa Pops or what the best messaging is to sell Cocoa Pops to kids.
Yeah, that is called market research.
Right. So
that is it.
So you do market research?
Not for like your average consumer brands or like insurance and stuff like that, because that sucks. That's boring.
So do you do it for like large legal firms?
No, not large legal firms. Very big companies who work in the... And should I just tell you?
Yeah, okay, just tell us.
I don't think this segment has got legs, to be honest. Let's just get it out of the way.
I don't know. I mean, I think we should really build this up. I mean, I wish I had like... I'll do a little drum roll.
Okay, what is it, Dunks?
Pharmaceuticals, market research. Oh, shit. Wow. Like I said, neither funny nor exciting.
So why is this a big secret? Why
I don't know. I think it's because no one knows how to explain it.
Is it because they're all kind of in the arts and they all think like, Dunks, like it's such a mystery what you do. I can't even begin to understand it.
They just don't understand the corporate world, man.
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay. And so are you... do you enjoy that?
I told you this was going nowhere.
Well, what's a day-to-day in the life of Dunks?
Mate, I do some Excel wizardry, and then I do some insights, and then I listen to my Friendlyjordies podcast, and then I'm home. It's fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little plug there for the Friendlyjordies podcast, so Podbean. Do you have to do any actual like discovery of anything, or you're kind of a middleman management?
We talk. Am I allowed to talk? Is this confidential? I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I think
probably should have found this out.
I think a lot of stuff that we've talked about today wasn't really vetted too well, was it?
No.
So
Yeah.
you go.
So a company will come to us and they'll say, "Hey, we want to know how many doctors are prescribing this sort of thing."
Right.
And then we'll go, "Oh, okay," and then we have to interview them and survey them and that sort of stuff. Yeah. Did you ever see that John Oliver segment where he talked about incentives for doctors to prescribe?
I think I actually did.
Do they own like some kind of...
It is a real
Problem.
real thing. Yeah. In the US, it's absolutely mental. Like, they'll go over there and they'll buy them lunch and like send them overseas for conferences and stuff, like all expenses paid trips. We have the
seems
same
crazy.
thing in Australia, but like it's so much more regulated. So the people are allowed to come in and see a doctor and sort of incentivize them somehow. But it's fortunately Australia.
What's an
way less
incentive?
crazy.
Would it be like, we'll pay you a commission for every person you get onto a drug?
Sometimes I think they actually get a commission, which is mental.
That's terrible.
If someone knows more about this than me, please text in, call.
Somebody asked, Dunk, so you're like a rep in pharmacies, except you ask for opinions and like
It's not
customer
a rep.
feedback.
I ask doctors how they felt about their rep person. So those are pharmaceutical reps who go in and they say, "Hey, you should try out this new drug that we've got. It's real potent stuff." And the doctor will be like, "Okay, yeah, it sounds interesting." And we talk to the doctors about that. So yeah, that whole world of pharmaceutical reps is a very real and very scary thing.
So you're trying to get reps to do a better job at selling to
Pretty
doctors?
much, yeah. And then we also talk to the doctors about how much they prescribe certain drugs, and then they basically build these massive reports of how many they've sold. And
This is actually so
business.
this is a really good FBI sort of thing we're doing right now, isn't it? We're like interviewing.
Yeah, I don't get the whole incentivizing thing. Like, for instance, I've got a meeting with a mortgage broker this week, and
Tom, look at you! Wow.
not to buy a house, but just like but there's something really dumb about it, because they only will tell you to invest, like to take out different loans based on the commission they'll get for that advice.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So why even listen to their advice? What's the point?
Because sometimes the reps and the like medical reps, because they're a different thing, they know a lot about that specific drug. Possibly more than the doctor does.
Right.
So, yeah. But the incentives, they send them to conferences and stuff like that for free.
So how do you trust your doctor then if they're like, "Oh, yeah, you don't need this, you need this"?
Ever since I started this, I'm like, I don't know what to believe. Yeah,
wow.
So keep that in mind.
So do you take any sort of
Pharmaceutical drugs.
Do you get discounts?
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Like,
Hey, buddy.
What's your opinion of like Nurofen and Panadol? Do they work? Should we take them?
Great products. Yeah, try
What
them
about vaccinations, autism? Or no?
No.
What do you guys think?
Strong no.
Did you hear
we're gonna
about
have the vaccinations debate live on air?
Did you hear about that thing going around at the moment that Prince died from having an allergic reaction to a vaccination?
Is that true?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a rumor.
That is such.
But don't you reckon?
Dunk's just having none of it.
Exactly.
On FBI radio.
How damaging is that though for people that support like most people?
Holy shit.
Yeah. I think that's highly, highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Prince is a pretty loose dude, right? I mean, are we allowed to say this? Has it been long enough?
I don't think so. Well, I uploaded a pretty
Anzac Day.
messed up meme. I guess.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, sort of.
I think he went to the chemist or something like that. Like,
I don't think
the
he was
day
like
died.
MJ.
Oh, right.
I don't think it was like MJ's level of.
No, he was like bedridden, wasn't
Who's better, MJ or Prince?
Just flatly.
Text in.
I reckon MJ.
Yeah, let's do that. Like, shall we do that? All right, MJ or Prince, text in. By the end of this, we'll have a definitive answer. Okay.
And don't do any of this, like, it's in the now, in the moment stuff. Like, honestly, who's better?
Yeah. I reckon MJ.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, the answer is MJ.
Michael
But,
Jackson,
I mean, let's
better
open
than
it up.
Prince.
You reckon MJ as well? So we all reckon MJ.
It's absolute consensus. But
Yeah.
we're all sensible people. I want to, see what
Yeah.
this lunatic bunch out there has to say.
Exactly, the number
The unwashed
0409
masses.
0409 945 945.
Let's go to a song.
Yeah, just, well, I don't know. I was wondering, like, your psychology knowledge. Are you able to sort of diagnose or like talk about that in any way? Like, sort of.
About you?
Yeah, like, do you want to do a
you're
psychology appointment with us?
You're definitely on the spectrum. I mean, that's.
Sorry.
He hates to hear that, but I think he has to every now and then.
You just have to accept it, man.
Let's go to a song. How dare you?
We invite you in here.
Honestly, how dare you? All right, this is the song "Hang On to Life." Shut up for a second. This is the song "Hang On to Life" by Ariel Pink, feat George Albrecht. See you soon.
Deep cuts.
Sultry sounds there of Ariel Pink featuring George Albrecht. The song, well, it's called Hang On to Life. The station, FBR Radio 94.5. Your boys, Tom Montydoodoo and the Crocodile crew, Robbie, Tom, and Dunk's in the studio. Jordan is at the beach. So, yeah, now we're going to be talking about how... Well, so it's sort of like how to become a man or woman. We've done this before, but there's a recent story that occurred to me that I think proves that, in fact, now... I did the dirt bike jump, but now there's something else that happened to me that proves that I am a man. So
Yeah. So this is like you're a boy for however long, and what's the specific moment that you became a man? And Robbie was... I received a call from Robbie at about... I don't know, very late at night, and he was distressed on the other end, and, would you want to explain it, Robbie?
Yeah, so I was walking home. It was about 11 p.m. in the evening. On this particular way home, I sort of have to walk over a bit of like a motorway, yeah? As I was approaching this motorway, I saw a little ball of something just hopping about next to the road.
Scary stuff for just a boy.
What happened next, Robbie?
So I'm approaching it, and I noticed that it it's jumping around in a circle. This little ball. I notice it's a rat. It's an injured rat. Okay, it can't. It's shock. It's in shock. It's bouncing around in a circle. Its back is broken. I'm thinking
It's tragic.
It's truly tragic. Nobody else is around. I sort of feel obligated to see this rat on its way out.
No. You euthanized it, dude.
Well,
Well, he should have euthanized it. He called me. He's like, "What do I do?" And I was like, "You kill the rat, or you leave it, dude. Like, just make a decision. I don't get why you're so worried about this. Just choose one or the other." But yeah, he was waiting around, waiting for people to just like he was waiting for like a bike rider to go past, and he'd be like, "Excuse me," in the middle of the night. Someone who looks like Robbie, saying like, "What should I do about this dying rat?" And like the best response was one woman was walking past, and he asked, and she just said, like, "I don't know, it's a rat. Like, who cares?"
and I feel like
It's
that
a living creature.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that was a very common sentiment. People were like, "Who gives a shit? You're crazy," that sort of thing. And I'm thinking, well, I feel obligated.
You love all of God's creatures.
I love all God's creatures.
But that's the annoyance here, because what did you do, Robbie? Did you kill the rat?
I did kill the rat. So
No,
what
you
happened?
didn't. No, you
So what happened was, so
work.
I spoke to, I called a few people. I called Tom. I called our friend Tristan, who had actually coincidentally killed a rat the day previously.
With you guys, man. Your
strange.
group of friends who murderous rampage.
And he's in Taiwan at the moment, and actually I've got a compilation of all these sort of interviews surrounding this event that we might play next week.
A little radio documentary.
Yeah, a little radio documentary.
But the rat had a
Really
broken
morbid
back.
topic.
So
Rat had a broken back.
He was
and-
going to die.
So I was thinking, and Tristan had told me, he said, "Do you have a plastic bag?" I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Well, what you want to do is you want to get that out. You want to hold the rat with the plastic bag, make sure it's nice and calm, and then
Comfortable,
snap its neck
That is-
very swiftly and firmly.
He's a doctor, Tristan. He's kind of got I feel as though you can trust his views on almost anything because he's a doctor.
He's how to snap a neck.
Yeah, a rat's neck.
And I'm thinking, I just can't do that. I can't do that. So I was thinking, all right, maybe I should throw it onto the on the motorway because there was like a bridge.
Yeah, he rang me saying, should he do that? And I was saying, no, just get like a big rock or something and just like drop it on it. Or just like, if you're going to kill it humanely and swiftly and leave. Or just leave and leave it. Like, because he's saying
And at
as
least
though
lay
he's
some
this...
flowers or something as well. I mean,
Yeah, like the sentiment is good, and he's like, the intent is nice, but realistically, he didn't do anything. He just watched a rat for about an hour, and then what happened in the end, Robbie? He just wandered out onto the street.
Well, no. So somebody stayed with me. Somebody stopped and shared the sentiment.
Yep.
They took off their jumper
It's a
at
difficult
first,
time.
being like, "Oh my god, is that ring-tailed possum?" I said, "No, I think it's around." Oh, okay. Back on. And
no sympathy for rats.
yeah, and so eventually, basically what I did, and this is when I became a man, part 2, is we watched it just sort of jump into the middle of the road, and it got pummeled by these 3 vehicles in quick succession. 1, 2, 3.
That'll do it.
And it did do it, and I suppose that it was sort of a motorway, so they were going quite fast, and it was tough, and
It was tough for you,
But it was
wasn't
necessary.
it was tough, but I'm glad I was there for the end, and that's basically.
How do you feel now?
I feel at peace as opposed to the feeling that I would feel if I had just ditched, like so many people did.
But you didn't do anything. You just observed. You didn't affect the rat's problem
I did
at all.
sort of. I did sort of direct it towards
Did give it a
the
good
road
push.
a little bit.
I feel like that's a horrific way to die, is get pummeled by oncoming highway traffic.
As opposed to what being like.
Humanely breaking its neck or
Yeah.
dropping a big rock on it.
I've never, but I
Very
haven't,
humane.
I haven't done that. So how could I have done that properly? I'm not sure if that.
I'm just saying, you shouldn't be getting kudos for being a good guy here because you didn't do anything. You just watched a rat kill itself.
In fact, you are awful. That is. How could you do
Yeah,
that?
you should have stepped in. It's like one of those things. It's like you can't just watch someone be assaulted. Like, you need to step in.
What do you mean?
didn't
I don't know
step
what you
in.
want for me to do. I saw it.
It's a broken back.
It ended.
It's in pain. Kill it. Rats
Yeah.
cry. They sing to
Yeah.
their dead.
Yeah, but how did you want?
I've heard
How
that.
would you suggest that I kill it?
They mourn.
That checks out.
I say, do what the doctor said and put a little plastic bag over it and break its neck.
But what if me
Well, could you
breaking
take it
its
to the
neck?
vet?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be insane. That would turn you away.
Odd thing to do, to be honest.
Yeah,
But you could.
The middle of the night to show up with a sore rat. There's no way. They'd be like, "Oh, is that your pet?" And you'd be like, "No, I just found it."
Yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah.
a strange man, that Robbie.
Not even a vet would sympathise with that.
I did that with a cockatoo once. Found it was like it got hit by a car, so we stopped and took it to the vet.
Did they fix it?
I have no idea. I'd like to think
They're just
yes.
getting the plastic bag out while you're
yeah,
walking.
exactly. Thank you so much for bringing it.
I don't know. I think it's. I don't think you guys would have done any differently.
I would have killed it.
How?
Yeah.
Come on, you wouldn't. This is such easy talk. For you. This is such easy talk.
All
done.
talk, Tom.
Yeah, the manly thing.
You were very close to me at the time. You could have come out. You could have come out and helped me with this.
I was in bed.
You could have come out. You could have come
I was
out.
annoyed that I was even getting calls about this. Multiple calls. Call once. Clearly wasn't interested.
Look, the rat, it died, and it was due. It had to die. It was in pain. It was.
It had to die, and you did nothing. And let's move on to a song.
That's not true. I'm not having this. This is a song called Debut. It's a new one by Deerhoof from their upcoming album called The Magic. You're on FBI Radio 94.5. Here it is. Hello there. You've got it tuned to FBI Radio 94.5 FM with Tom Montydoodoo and the Crocodile crew. That was a song Debut by Deerhoof.
So good segue into this segment, which is my debut into Reddit. So I've been on Reddit for a long time. We love it. We love the stuff. Reddit's great. It's good fodder as well for segment ideas. Fun fact, which we actually haven't got into yet, but it's like we're running out.
It's got potential.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Pack this in pretty soon.
So I made my first comment on a post the other day, and I thought it would be funny to hear what you guys think of it, because it's so Reddit's so funny because it's such a kind community if you're part of the community.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just so weird because I'm so used to, like, if I ever do anything on social media, like, I'm never on social media. But if I do anything, it's always something like, either, like, you know, me fighting someone or just, like, I don't know, never nice. But, yeah, so it was a life pro tip Reddit, and their question was something like, oh, I can't get any downtime when I'm home. I find it really hard to... I have a really stressful job, and I'm wondering, does anyone have any tips about when they finish work? How do you kind of, you know, do something that's, you know, productive, but also, you know, downtime?
Yeah.
And my comment was, I find audiobooks are great for feeling productive and unwinding at the same time. Play some repetitive computer game or whatever your pleasure and listen to Moby Dick or iRobot. Or something so you can chill and learn at the same time. It's really that easy.
Is that what you wrote?
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Why did you write it in that way?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, because the Reddit's got a very specific voice, so I thought, like, that's like what someone on Reddit would say. And I posted it, and it's been like over a day, and I have one. So you get given one karma point for yourself for the first time you vote.
Yeah.
Well, first time you comment, and I've received one upvote since then.
you pissed.
Reddit is not kind to you.
Absolutely pissed.
It wasn't a popular life pro tip, but yeah, it's very.
For God's sake. What were the other ones in that
I
section?
want to see what my last Reddit
It was people saying things like, try and do things like clean the dishes and just like dumb ideas about when you're at home, like try and go for a run or something. Like, that's a good way to clear your head and think at the same time.
Dumb, aren't they? They're just dumb ideas.
Just dumb ideas, unlike my one, which was really cool. But it's just so funny because it's so honest. Like, I'm never honest about stuff, and it's just like this complete honesty because I do exactly that. I'm like, yeah, I find that really helps me is to listen to an audiobook and play computer games.
Do you ever do that thing with comments where you go to reply to someone, you type out something massive, and you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. You know they're going to come back with some spurious nonsense. You're like, it's nah.
Well, we do that. Yeah, I do that quite a lot where I'll just like, it's always better to err on the don't do anything.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But yeah, Jordan's the opposite of that, where he'll just go nuts on our page. Like,
sounds like a Jordan thing to do.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's very like an anger. Just,
I've seen that, yeah. Someone says something like mean, he's like, what the hell? Well, I assume it was him, yeah.
Now it's time for the supernatural, the unexplained.
So last week, Jordan told us a story that he'd heard from someone about a psychic that had come in. His name was something like Doctor. It's just like the dumbest name. I've got his card here. But yeah, it was just here. It is. It was a story from a psychic, and the psychic was saying, his name, Mr. Joseph was his name, and I've got the card here, where a man, like, so this guy received this note in the mail from Mr. Joseph, the most powerful international spiritual healer and clairvoyant with power of Khartoum. And it's just riddled with grammar issues. Like, this thing, it's saying, it says, I can help solve your problems regarding reuniting loved ones, improve marriages, relationship, lost happiness, readings, and antisocial behavior in families. It's just like, it's kind of, when you read through it, it's just gibberish, like what he's after.
It reminds me of Time Cube. It's in Time Cube.
No, what's Time
It's a website where everything on it is just like that. It's like Time Cube solves all world problems and stuff like that. And it's just like all basic HTML, like crazy wild colors. Very Web 1.0. Anyway.
Yeah, look at it. It's like just the most awful thing. Anyway, the guy responded in text, like a text to Mr. Joseph saying, what you're doing is just wrong. Like, you're not a psychic. Don't trick people into thinking that you can talk to dead people. You shouldn't do it. And Mr. Joseph replied with the text a couple of days later saying, just with a big B and a little b, which the guy receiving it happened to also be writing a musical at the time, and he was lost in his head thinking, like, what's the note I'm looking for? And he received this text and it was a B flat, and he was like, oh my god, like, that's it, it's a B flat, that's the note I'm after. Mr. Joseph is legit. So Jordan told us this story last week, and the way he framed it was like, so he was just the biggest skeptic beforehand, and then afterwards, like, he's going to be
believes.
Yeah. In reality, it turns out he doesn't believe. He thinks it was just a typo. He doesn't believe it at all.
Brilliant. I was listening to this and I'm like, I'm so angry about this. it's just dumb.
Yeah, so I think it's just like, it's so funny to hear this Chinese whispers thing where the story just gets changed and changed. And if you go back to the original source, who it actually happened to, they don't even think it's legit.
I just love the idea of someone who's writing a musical who knows their music stuff really well, and he never thought to use a B flat. Yes, there are only 12 notes.
Hey, can I
It's not
say...
like he's a chemist and he's like, I need to use some sodium
It's 12 trial and error.
That
It's like,
is
you only
a
get
slam dunk. Yeah, boy, donkey boy.
Yeah, because I was thinking that it's just it's such a bigger question to think. All right, so are they thinking then one of his ancestors is helping him out by saying he needs a B flat? And then is it like, so I was like, does he have a history of people that are like well versed in like composing music? Like, why would they know that they need a B flat?
I reckon this guy, your psychic mate here, had typed out a massive response and then gone, nah, I don't want to send it backspaced at all.
I just accidentally said send, and then he was like, oh my lord.
Exactly. Oh man, that was 2 segments meeting. Amazing.
We have to go. Basically.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Time flies.
Thanks so much, Dunks, for
Thank
being
you,
in the
boys.
studio. It's lovely to meet you.
Very
and
kind of you to have me in.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Great to see the mystery. We actually missed out on Group Who Am I again. This is,
It's not very good anyway.
well, it is. So, so sorry about that to everyone out there. Looking forward to that. We might do that next week. Thanks to Tom.
Thank you.
I'm Robbie. Jordan will be back next week. We're going to leave you with a track called Resonance by Home. Hope you have a lovely day. Play a bit of 2 Up and
Pour one out for you boys.
all right. Here we go. See you next week, guys.
Thank you, boys.